So, you want to know what we're talking about today? I'm Aaron, this is the ToC Cave, and welcome to Talking Points. So what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talking Points, your weekly update of all things ToC. First up, we'll run through our video recap of this week, which was a busy week here for ToC. I mean, we really pounded out a bunch of videos. I mean, for us, that's kind of a big deal, you know, because we usually one or two a week and one or two a day and then done. Nah, we had a pretty busy week. Next, we'll follow it up with a little bit of mobile game madness, of course, the little midway through point of the show. And this game was actually a pretty entertaining game, so bet you can't wait to hear what it was. And finally, we'll end this episode with our beloved Talking Points. You know, that's the namesake of this show, so now that we've got all that said and done, and now that you know what's coming up, let's get talking. So last week, Josh and myself, we began our wonderful week with Yoshi's Island, where we marched our way through worlds 4 and 5. Ended up knocking out 2 worlds in 1 week. That's pretty powerful, you know, pretty good. That's pretty amazing for us. Josh pulled off an awesome save in our first video of the week, which if you haven't seen it, it was amazing. I encourage you to go watch that, because the way he pulled that off, I mean, we were both kind of like, we were in shock the rest of the episode. We continued our journey to dominate the Kanto region next in Pokemon Ash Gray. And we started off with at Pokemon Tech, and we took on a few bullies that were there. Yeah, they've been picking on this one kid, so we decided, you know what, we're going to make them pay for it. And I noticed my table's a little crooked. Sorry. OCD kicks in real quick. After that, we found Bulbasaur, Charmander, and then Squirtle. You know, that was a pretty amazing haul, if I do say so myself, to get all of them. And we finished that up by facing our old pal Duke Nukem, which, you know, Lieutenant Surge does look like Duke Nukem. Come on, you gotta admit it. And we took him, you know, we started fighting our Duke Nukem Lieutenant Surge doppelganger in a lightning badge showdown. Next, we pushed our way through more of that Mario Maker madness that was the AGDQ levels playthrough. Of course, the AGDQ levels were levels made specifically for AGDQ. Josh and myself decided to test our skills, and I suck. Josh handled it decently. And then Josh opened his Envision-themed loot crate, which I picked up as well. In fact, there are a couple of set items, you know, one over there and one here behind me that I got from my own loot crate that I decided to pick up for this month because it had the word alien in it. I had to pick it up. He also announced the recently released Five Nights at Freddy's World. Yeah, that was hard for me to say. In the news quick that he posted this week, or last week, then he decided he was going to take it on. Finally, we rounded out our week with his Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play and my Meat Boy Let's Play. Needless to say, he was having a holly jolly good time, and I was blasting off like a meaty rocket. Wait, that didn't come out right. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week's video recap. You know, we had a great time, enjoyed ourselves really well. Well, Josh enjoyed himself. Me, I was more or less raging the whole fucking time. Yeah, I rage a lot. I mean, there's going to be some Let's Play videos in the future where I just completely rage out. So, with that being said, now that we've finished up the recap, let's move on to this week's Mobile Game Madness Game of the Week. This week's Game of the Week is Sling Knight by MoiTTT. Yeah, that's how they spell their name, so I do not know how to pronounce that. In the game, Sling Knight, you take on the role of, well, a knight, a mage, or any other character that's basically fantasy-based, fanny-based. Wow, this episode's getting kind of, steamy. So, you take on hordes who are about to kill you. Controls are simple, as you just drag your finger in any direction to either make the character do upwards attack, downwards attack, left, right, left special, right special, up special, down special. You know, it's not that difficult to play. The game is very simple. It's fun. It can be a little challenging if you're not used to using, you know, drag mechanics to control a character. But it can become tedious at the same time. You know, you might try to fight one monster, and all of a sudden the monster starts jumping, and that just throws you into a loop of, okay, swipe, oh, monster jumped before you could hit it. Yeah. There are little collectible characters you can get through each one, and you can do that by completing the easy, medium, and difficult difficulties. Yeah. I mean, this adds a bit of fun to the game, but other than that, the game can grow very old very quick. I mean, so far from what I've been playing, it's been fun, but at the same time, after a few minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm done for today. So with all that being said, Sling Knight gets about a 3 out of 5 from me. It's fun, it's simple. They do have ads in both versions since they are free. And, but they don't interrupt your gameplay. I mean, it's pretty much like right after you complete a mission, you might get an ad that pops up, or you can click on an ad for an unlocked key or something like that. But other than that, it leaves the player wanting more as far as gameplay goes. But once you've knocked out the collectible factor for it, it becomes kind of a boring, monotonous playthrough. If you want to check it out, you can find it on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. Well, now that we've kind of buzzed through Mobile Game Madness and I don't have any, you know, awesome set items to show off this week, well, let's go ahead and move on to the namesake of the show, our talking points. So last week, I asked you, the viewers, to let me know what was your favorite card game or card-based game, or, you know, whatever, card game, card-based game. Hell, I can't even remember what I write half the time. So I got a few responses in the comments. So we'll start off with those, and, you know, I mean, talking about these comments down here. So last week's comments start off with YouTube. We get Will Uchiha, who writes Magic: The Gathering. Of course, Will Uchiha, former teammate, but also avid fan. He lets me know what he sees all the time and kind of gives me some pointers. He says to tell everyone, hey. Hey, Will. Nemariel writes, Cards Against Humanity is my current favorite. I also like playing BS, bullshit, bull, popcorn, whatever the fuck you call it, or whatever you called it growing up. My favorite part is when you can team up with other players. Yeah, that sounds like, I mean, I've never played, maybe I have played it. I've played a game called Rat Screw. I don't know if that's similar. But, anyway, she says, you know, her favorite part is when you can team up with other players to make others lose. Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of like another card game I recently played, which was Munchkin. Yeah, she says she was good at that. So for our Facebook fancers, we have Joey, who writes Magic the Gathering, and Alex, who also writes Magic the Gathering. So apparently Magic the Gathering is a fun fucking game. I've watched Will play it a few times. I'm not that big into it. I mean, maybe I just got to get my own deck and start learning, but, you know, seems like everybody out there who watches us is big MTG fans. So for our team answers, we have Josh, who writes High-Low, Blackjack, and President. And of course, you got mine last week, which were Blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I also want to throw in there Cards Against Humanity and Munchkin, because those games are really, really just, I mean, they keep you entertained. So that's it for last week's talking point. As for this week's talking point, we here at, you know, ToC in the Top Cave and at the studio want to know, what was your favorite 90s toy? Now, if you didn't grow up in the 90s, I understand how this could be a hard question for you, but at the same time, I'm sure you saw them advertised on TV, or, you know, you got to hear your older cousins, family members, friends talk about how awesome the 90s were and how awesome the toys were out there. Well, from what I can say out there, all my 90s kids, let's hear your answers. So, and all of you that were not 90s kids, or, you know, were not 80s or 90s kids, be jelly, because those toys were fucking awesome. So anyway, getting back to the talking point, now that I've gone off on a wild tangent there, my answer for this week is the Creepy Crawlies machine, which was this giant oven with jelly toys, you know, plastic toys, rubber toys, whatever. And the Street Sharks, as well as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toys. All those toys were fucking awesome. I mean, I played with them for hours. Well, anyway, that concludes this week's episode of Talking Points. Make sure you tune in each week for another exciting episode of Talking Points, and every day for more ToC goodness as we post videos daily. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep talking. So I bet you're bursting to see more awesome videos. If so, you can click on this happy face hugger to subscribe to our channel. Or you can try to summon a dinosaur here with this, or summon a dinosaur and morph into this awesome video by using this morphing belt here. And just so I can continue to use it, it's morphin' time. Well, yeah, I had to use it. So remember, subscribe, morph, or another video. You can morph into another video.